Hi, my name is Samoiya Shelley Yates, and I have a message for humanity. Why would I have a message for humanity? Well, I am a contactee, and I've been in contact with extraterrestrial beings of light for over 17 years. These beings of light have been coming to teach me and share with me and tell me things and ideas that can assist humanity. And in 2007, they came with a project. They called it Fire the Grid. They indicated that each one of us are energy beings first and foremost, and that these energy beings are attached to a grid that surrounds and works through the planet. Each one of us are one hexagon of that grid. Nobody can get another hexagon. You have one hexagon, and you're either feeding that hexagon with light or you're drawing from it. So every choice that you make counts and matters. In 2007, we organized the world to hold the largest mass meditation ever held, and it did some pretty amazing, magnificent things. Princeton University got involved in this project and wrote a paper about it, which I will supply links to so that you can go and see the science behind what we actually did in 2007. Emoto, the guy who does the water crystals, he also got involved and was very significant in helping me understand that this is real and true, which by now you're probably going, is this real and true? Because it's such a supernatural, out there kind of concept. But each one of us are little energy generators. And where we put our attention and where we put our energy affects us, not only individually, but globally. And we can come together as a whole. And people talk about being one. Well, it's one energy source that helps us all become what we are on this planet, but we are individuals. We have choice. We are able to participate in projects like this because we choose to. The next project that's coming is another Fire the Grid project. The beings have invited us to come together and pulse the energy grid. What does that mean, to pulse an energy grid? Well, your own individual body is connected to this energy grid. And when you pulse your grid with the thoughts of your greatest human pleasures and joys, and then you say thank you, you literally flood your hexagon on the energy grid. Now, a lot of people might be thinking this is pretty complicated ideas and, oh, I've never heard of these things before, but I'm offering something that we can unite during a time right now that we really, really need to unite. The beings have come with a new project. They've told me that it has been hastened, it has been sped up because of the current events on the planet, and they would like us to pulse the energy grid and prepare it for the next events. Now, I'm not sure what the next events are, but I know we're a part of it. And you're either working towards the new world or you're working away from the new world. And again, it's your choice. It's your energy body that I'm asking to engage. There's no money. There's no commitments. There's no joining something. There's just sitting with your joy, thinking about it deeply in your body so that you feel it. You feel that joy of eating an ice cream cone or hugging your child or walking in the sun. You feel it in your vessel, your body, your suit, your human suit. And when you really connect with that joy, then you simply say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that elevates your field. And that invisible connection that takes us from this being in 3D form and connects us to the true being that doesn't have form. And when we connect to that being in that form, we can now communicate with it. We can use that energy. We can direct that energy. And what the beings want us to do is to elevate the earth grid. Now, there's a lot of things to tell you about the earth grid and how it's changed in 2012 and what that did to the grid and where we are right now. But there's too many things to tell you right now in this. This is an invitation to open yourself to this truth. And if you don't believe it, that's okay. If this is like hogwash, that's okay too. But if you feel truth in what I'm telling you, if you feel that tingling in your high heart that says there's something here for me, this is a free project. What have you got to lose to give your time to a free project with the hope that we can create the next time? Now, I'm not saying everything's going to go away for us, and I'm not saying that everything's just going to be better overnight. And even when we do fire the new grid, doesn't mean it's all going to happen immediately, but it does mean we have set off a chain reaction of events. We, the people, the energy body that we are, have committed and connected to this field. And when we commit and connect to this field with a yes, yes, we're ready to be more than we are. Yes, we're ready to remember what and who we really are. Yes, we desire to create an abundant, wonderful, sharing, kind world for all of us. In the midst of everything we're in, what do we have to lose? These beings gave me this information before. The projects worked. They were incredible. Millions and millions of people participated, and we didn't have social media. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have Facebook. How do we do it? We simply shared an email that said, if your heart resonates with this project, share it with someone you love. So I'm here again to say that these beings have a new project for us. They're calling it Fire the Grid 2. Flood the junctures. Remember, become. Become who you're meant to be. Stand in the adversity that we're living with right now. Turn from that which no longer serves us and turn towards hope, joy, gratitude. See it in everything that you do. See it in the people that you speak to. See it in the eyes of another. For once you remember that you're a divine being in an energy suit, in a body, you can't look in somebody else's eyes and not see that they too are energy beings in suits. Now, in the beginning, Fire the Grid was left that you determine whether these beings are angels or extraterrestrials or otherworldlies or simply energy, pure energy with consciousness that can actually communicate with us. Now, I'm not unique. I'm not the only person that can communicate with these extraterrestrials, otherworldly angel beings. Again, use the words that make you feel comfortable. For me, I call them otherworldlies or light beings, because every single one of us has one. It is a thing that we share in common. It is a thing that makes us unified. We have just forgotten. So Fire the Grid is booked. It's rapid. We have about 5 weeks. July 19th, 2021, we, the people, get to program the next field. It is the first time in humanity's history that we actually get to choose our next direction. The last time we had a quantum leap, we came from Homo erectus to Homo sapiens. It was a huge quantum leap. We became physiologically different. We became mentally, energetically, physically different beings. That is coming for us again. Now we can participate in that with Fire the Grid, and we can join together and we can unite our field and we can set that bar as high as humanly possible, which is the instructions. 857 hertz is the ultimate frequency of love and compassion and joy and gratitude. It is what will unite us as we move forward, because if we continue to wring our hands in despair, we will find ourselves disintegrating in our differences. They said very clearly, unite in your similarities, or you will disintegrate in your differences. Our similarities is that we are all the same. We are energy beings in suits. Now, if that makes you feel uncomfortable, it made me feel uncomfortable. 17 years of being uncomfortable with this information, but I've finally come to the place that it's true. And if you can ask yourself this question, do you believe you're more than the blood and bones that are sitting right there watching this video? Do you believe there's more to you, to us? Is there an energy component, chi, prana, the soul, the being? Is that in you? Do you say yes to that? If you say yes to that in the smallest amount, then you have connected to it. And if you believe it to be true, then this too can be true, that we can think our way out of this, that we can dream our way into a new way of being. We can dream our way into a new world. Now, some people talk about the fact of rainbow bridges and portals, but regardless of if anything supernatural happens to assist us, they have said they are coming to help us. And once we acknowledge that they're coming to help us, now we have to be ready and aware and prepared to find them, to see them, to use our own natural psychic abilities that are our gifts. They were not things to be taken from us, but they have been. But you now have the opportunity to reclaim that and say, yes, I know I'm an energy being in a suit. I'm not sure what that means. But as soon as you say yes to that one component, you are open and available to participate in creating the next time. Words like manifesting. If you're not an individual who knows anything about manifesting, there's tons out there. There's tons of people out there talking about creating with energy. Emoto did a Fire the Grid crystal. I will post these things. Princeton got involved. I will post these things. I will show you my so-called proof. But if you require proof, it'll never be enough. So this is an absolute leap of faith. You either believe that this can work, and you believe that you can participate, and that you believe you can create a new world for your babies and your loved ones and for the animals and for the joy and pleasure of the experience of being here, or you don't. But if you do, I have a lot to tell you about how to connect with that energy and how to use it, how to create with it. These beings have been talking to me for 17 years. They have never lied. They have never been wrong. Everything they've ever told me to do has come true, right down to the fact that my 4-year-old son was underwater for over 40 minutes. And the beings told me how to bring him back to life. They told me how to charge and program his field. That's what they're telling us now. They're telling me how to charge and program our field, collective field, the new field, the one we want, the one we choose. This is the first time we get to consciously choose another way of being here. And again, if you don't believe it, I'm okay with that. I'm not attached to that anymore. What I want is that if somebody does believe it, that I am here now to tell you what I know. It's taken me a long time to get here, because who the heck wants to get on TV or the internet or anywhere and tell people that you're a contactee talking to otherworldly beings? But I am. It is true. They've never lied, and everything they tell me works. So this will work. At the very, very least, it will unify us at a time when we need it so much. So on July 19th, 2021, we're going to fire that grid again. We're going to charge that sucker up, and we're going to light this world up and blast it with our faith, our love, our compassion, our joy, and our most incredible human powerhouse, gratitude. Just the gratitude for sitting here with you, knowing that that body you live in, that body gives you the experiences while you're here. So let's charge the bodies. Let's get everybody healthy. Let's get everybody in the right mindset of sharing and kindness and loving and giving. There's enough here. Things are coming. We want to be part of the positive changes. And that's what this first Fire the Grid was all about, uniting us to be there. But this second Fire the Grid is all about charging the new field. So when we get there, we're ready. It's ready. We will jump into that new dream, into that new cosmic way of being, and create a new earth. And if we don't get the supernatural thing, we have to do it ourselves anyway. So why wouldn't we put the time and energy into lifting our own personal frequencies? If we lift our own personal frequencies, we charge our hexagon on the grid. If we charge our hexagon on the grid, we flood that sucker with liquid light, and we actually feed 1,000 other hexagons. No longer drawing from a grid that's already drained. No longer taking just for ourselves, but intending that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the first tier where we're all cared for at the most basic level, becomes our mandate. The only cause that we're going to work towards is taking care of each other, raising our fields, and becoming the lighted beings, the homo illuminous beings that we were intended to be. Now, at the end of all this, there's a great thing. We get to have a planet that's amazingly wonderful. We're all in abundance. We're all fed. We're all sheltered. We're all loved. We're all cared for. That is where we're going to put our mindset. But individuality counts here. If your joy is ice cream, well, bring it, but intend it for the whole world. If your joy is reading books, then bring it for the whole world. Whatever our joys are individually, somebody else will like them. So when we meet each other, we find each other fascinating. We find who we are. We find what's similar about ourselves, because that's the unification process that we're in right now. And some people would say, oh, well, you're a bunch of hippies. And again, I say, you're right. I have become a hippie, and I have become an energy worker. But nothing that's experienced for me cannot be experienced for you. Miracles happen all the time. We're just not watching for them. And I had 2 miracles. My son and I were both submerged underwater for a very long period of time. And during that period of time, I met these beings, the same beings that are coming now with this information. So I have an invitation to humanity. Please join us on July 19th, 2021 at 11:11 GMT. We will make all of this understandable. All of this will be normal by the time we get there. But GMT means no matter where you are in the world, we're unified. Some of us will be 3:11 in the morning, and some of us will be 3:11 in the afternoon. But when we sit down to concentrate our joy and gratitude on our own individual bodies to elevate the grid that surrounds us, that will be our most powerful moment as we create the new earth. Thank you for listening to me, and when I get the information, you'll have it.